Have you ever had someone request something that was like too obscene that you wouldn't put on a cake?
Nothing is too obscene to put on a cake, but I won't post it on Instagram.
Hi there. Welcome to the Connecting KC podcast. I'm Rachel Kilmer, also known as Rach the Realtor on the internet, where I love, connecting all things KC. I'm a metro area real estate agent, retired sports reporter, and mom, and probably too old to call myself a TikToker, but honestly, that's how we got here. You can learn more at www.rachtherealtorkc.com. But this show is all about introducing you to all of the movers and shakers, interesting people, heartfelt stories, and funny quirks that make this vibrant community home. So let's get right to it with today's episode of Connecting KC. Welcome into today's sweet and spicy episode of Connecting Kansas City, where I am so excited to be joined by Sav Brady. She is a plant-based baker in Kansas City, Missouri, serving up good cake and bad words. She's been cooking for people her entire life, and her business is a product of her love for food, humor, art, and community. After working in various kitchens over the work years, Sav decided to take a chance on doing her own thing. Through the C Word Cakery, she has been able to take her creativity and cake wizardry to a new level, maintain her ethics, and explore new ways to help the community and the planet. Sav's goal is to create cake that tastes amazing, is friendly to the earth, and that doesn't take itself too seriously. In her kitchen, she never uses any artificial colors or flavors. The packaging is all plant-based and compostable, and she uses vegan sugar and fair trade cocoa. Making food shouldn't cause anybody or anything harm, especially fucking cake. It's the happiest food on the planet. Sav, I couldn't agree more. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Your cakes are beautiful, like stunning. It's art. And then the contradiction of the words on them sometimes is absolutely hilarious. How did you kind of stumble into beautiful cakes and foul language?
So, I guess I've done art my whole life. I did a little bit of graphic design. I've done painting, all of that. And at one point I was making greeting cards that said similar phrases, things like that. But I also have always been baking, always cooking. And so my ultimate dream was to combine the two things, because I love the idea of something being really pretty and it just saying fuck on it or something, like some bad word, just especially in cursive, just something really like delicate and pretty, but that says that. So yeah, kind of started with the art. I combined it with the baking, and yeah, it was formed in 2020. Like, I started the idea.
Did you jump in full time right away, or did you kind of ease in with the day job at first?
So I was working at a pie shop in Overland Park, and so I never tasted their pies. I was vegan, but I love working with pie. I came from another shop in Arkansas doing that. And so I was working there full time, and then also doing the cake business. I had just started it. I didn't know how it was going to go or anything, but I thought I'd take a chance on it. And once I posted about it, it really took off faster than I had anticipated. So I had to go to my boss and say, I am so sorry, I love this job, but I can't. I was sleeping 2 hours a night, not at all. I looked terrible. And so yeah, I had to kind of just choose to jump into that full time. And luckily it worked out. I was doing pop-ups and just kind of selling custom cakes and learning and failing and doing a good job, everything all in one. It's been kind of crazy.
And now, do you have a physical storefront, and do you have a team, or are you still the only one that's making all of these?
It's just me. Right now I'm a cottage bakery. So I did have a commercial kitchen, and then I bought a restaurant, which is a totally separate thing. I thought, it'd be such a good idea to run two small businesses. It turns out that is really not a good idea. But So I moved out of the commercial kitchen to go back to being a cottage bakery. So I could work 2 full-time jobs again. And yeah, I'm still here. I'll probably be moving into a commercial kitchen or storefront in the near-ish future. That's kind of the plan, but right now it's just me. If you're talking to me on like Instagram, email, it is all me. So
It's a lot to juggle. You produce a ton. Like
I've tried, before in the past I was taking every single order and doing anything to like make money and get my name out there, and now I'm at a point where I'm not like saying no, I'm not doing your order, but like I can craft my business in a way that suits me and my schedule and my mental capacity. So it's super nice. Like I feel like I'm finally, I don't know, being the business that I want it to be.
Yeah. How has the learning curve for the business side been for you? I think it's so interesting when creatives then have to suddenly turn on that side of the brain and run a business. How is that going for you?
It's okay. I'm not gonna say that I'm like a business genius. I'm not. I'm not super versed on everything business wise. I just ask a lot of questions, try some things and see what happens and hope for the best. I don't know. I'm always kind of struggling with the business side because yeah, my brain is like, I know exactly, how to make this cake. I know how I want it to look. I can help with this event, but when it comes down to like paperwork, oh my God, I hate paperwork. And like the emails, I'm like, I struggle, but you got to do them.
Yeah, for sure.
Part of it.
When you first started making these cakes, what was the reception like? Like, obviously people love them, but was there a portion of the population that was like clutching their pearls over what you were putting on cakes?
Like, not really, shockingly. So I've only had a few people that are offended by them. And mainly it was at pop-ups. I'd be sat on my table, really big sign that says the C word. And then, cupcakes that they're like, oh, they're really nice. And then they'll like look at them and be like, what is a MILF? And then I'm like, oh, I have to like explain what a MILF is to you, and that is so uncomfortable. But like things like, it's mainly just like confusion, if anything. It's not that they're like so offended, but I have had to explain what a few things were, and it makes me sweaty. I'm like, I can't talk about this. Like, I just thought you guys would know, but sometimes they don't.
Have you ever had someone request something that was like too obscene that you wouldn't put on a cake?
Nothing is too obscene to put on a cake, but I won't post it on Instagram. Like sometimes it'll be like, it's like, I learned so much from your sex life, from what you want written on this cake, and I'm like, I feel like I can't post this. Like I don't know. I know too much. So like I'll put it on there, but like don't expect to see it on Instagram. It's too
That is hilarious. Do you have like a list of like funny phrases that you go back to a lot, or are you like constantly thinking of new creative things to put on there? Like what's your creative process?
There's some go-tos. I have on my order form, people can kind of request what they want it to say. Or they'll just say like come up with something, and I just do my best to think of something that would be good on their cake. I mean, it depends on the feel. So like the way that my order form is set up and the way that I'm taking orders is I don't really do super custom cakes anymore. I let people choose if they want to have like a general theme, like moody or colorful or floral. Like I'll take the input, but when it comes down to it, the reason I like doing this is so that I can create edible art for them that is something that I'm really proud of. And nothing against like, I don't know, like Bluey or something, like more power to Bluey, but like High B can make that cake, or like somebody, like I'm not super passionate about making that specific kind of cake. I want to make what I want to make. And so like as far as the sayings go, I'll sometimes base it off of, what they've given me to work with. Or, if it's birthday, anniversary, I can come up with something. It just kind of depends situation to situation.
Are all of your cakes vegan, or you just use vegan products in some of them? What's your kind of business model in terms of vegan versus not? Do you get a lot of pushback on that?
So it is all vegan. I don't advertise very much as being vegan simply because it scares people off, and it's not like some huge crazy statement I'm trying to make specifically with this. I'm just trying to follow, like, I am vegan personally, and I know that I can make pretty good vegan cake. And so a lot of people that order from me are not vegan. There are many people that find out later and they were like, my cake was vegan. I had no idea. And then I'm like, that feels pretty good. But yeah, it's just I'm trying to play to like the skills that I have. I've been baking vegan for a long time. Even before I was personally vegan, I was baking vegan because I love the challenge of it. You have to be really innovative, try a lot of new things. There's so much experimentation that can happen. I mean, people are making meringue out of like chickpea water and from the can. Who thought of that? That's insane. But like, it's just really cool and innovative, and so I'm sticking with it.
Who is your like dream person that you want to make a cake for that you haven't gotten a chance to yet?
I don't know. So many people. Who do I want to make a cake for? Honestly, like any of the really cool famous vegans, like that would be amazing. Like Billie Eilish is vegan. That would be really cool. Billie, if you're watching, please. But I don't know. Like I'm happy to make it for honestly anyone. Like even the non-vegans, I just want to make cake for everyone that I'm like, this, it's just good cake, like period. It doesn't have to have eggs or milk or butter to be a really good cake.
So flip side of that question, then have you had a cake ordered from you? Like what's the most exciting order that you've fulfilled so far?
I haven't even said this to anyone because I don't know if it's like weird to say. It's kind of like a local name drop, I guess. But I have a customer that I work with regularly, and she ordered a cake for Tommy Townsend. And so he's had my cake, and I thought that was really cool. So that's like, and I actually, I worked at a cake business in Wyoming I've kind of moved all over the place. But I worked there, and the company that I worked for, I did the sugar work, so like fondant and edible painting, things like that. I did for her, and we would get orders from celebrities that like I had to not disclose, like I could not disclose who they were for, and so like that was really cool. But with my business, Tommy Townsend is probably the coolest one.
Honestly, the vibes work. I can totally see that. Like,
yeah,
perfect match there. Like,
yeah,
that's awesome.
It was really good. It was cool.
Where do you see your business going over the next year, 5 years, 10 years? What's your dream for what you're doing here?
Probably, like I was saying, I want to get at least a commercial kitchen to where, I'm having people pick up from a space that is not literally my house. But so it is, so they're not picking up directly from my house. So I have a space where I can put all my stuff and my house can become a house again. Because right now, basically, it's like we have our kitchen, and then I have my entire space as our dining room. So I have like stainless steel tables in there. I have baker's racks. I mean, it's like a commercial kitchen, but just taking over our house. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Eventually probably getting a storefront where people come in and pick up cake, have like a pastry case where there's more offerings and all that. Maybe some coffee or something. Well, we'll see how it goes. I am not 100%.
Yeah. Do you see yourself hiring, or do you foresee yourself doing this all yourself forever?
So I will hire. I am like so scared to hire someone because like I felt the same way because like for the first time in my life I was a boss when I had this restaurant in Midtown, and I would wake up and just be like, I'm the boss. Like these people are like looking at me and like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I just walk around and I do my best, but like I just always thought that was so crazy. And so now with the cake, that's like 100% my business and like my baby. And it is so scary to like give people the responsibilities to hand stuff off whenever I've been like, working 18-hour days, 20-hour days sometimes to get all the shit done. And, it's kind of scary to just hand that off to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I totally get that. I'm a real estate agent. Same thing in real estate. It's like when your business is your baby, it's like, but you won't do it exactly the way that I will.
I know.
Yeah. Only way to grow. So yeah.
And I don't want to be like that either because I know there are like so many talented, capable, intelligent people out there that could probably even do a better job than me. But it's just like I get so stuck in my ways sometimes when it comes to the cake that it just is scary.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I think that Kansas City specifically is a great market for this business to exist in because the way that Kansas Cityans like get behind small businesses, but it's kind of unexpected to have like a foul language cake company pop up in the Midwest like this and do so well. What is it about like, because especially since you moved around a lot, Kansas City specifically, that has made this a success here?
Honestly, the small business community is insane. Like it is so cool. Is the number one reason why I think it's the other businesses and it's the people that are so supportive of small business here. This is a really, really creative city. There's a lot of people that want to support and collaborate and I mean all of that. But starting at pop-ups, I did my first one in 2021 and immediately I met so many people that were giving me connections and, asking questions, sharing business cards. And, it took off really fast because of that and because of those people. And like the more you get out there and are meeting the people, I think that's why the pop-ups were so good for so many people, especially coming out of COVID. It's because like everyone wanted to get out of the house and go to these things and like see new businesses thrive and make new connections. And like that did so much good in Kansas City for small business, like so much good.
So how long have you lived in Kansas City, and are you originally from here or are you a transplant?
So I moved here in August of 2020, which was a whole thing. I'm originally from southern Missouri, so like south of Branson. I grew up like an hour south of there, worked in Branson area, all that. And then I went to college for a bit in St. Charles at Lindenwood to be a music major. And then after that, I was working with the National Park Service and at gear stores and retail all kinds of shit. Cake shops, but I just moved around to a bunch of different states. And in 2020, shit hit the fan. I went through a divorce and ended up moving back with my parents for a bit. And then I met a boy, and then I moved to Kansas City, and here we are.
Love it. I love the story. That's so cool. So yeah, you're like everyone who didn't have like a major life change between 2020 and 2021. Like I feel like all of us did. But I was the same way. I had a lot of stuff going on too, and I was just like full send, might as well, like, you're like, move to a new city, launch a new business, start a new serious relationship, like all at once. Do you feel like you have like your head has stopped spinning yet and you've kind of like, okay, this is my life now, like put your feet back on the ground? Or are you still like in the, oh my gosh, this is all happening so fast stage?
I guess like a bit of both. I'm so used to change, like moving around. Honestly, the weirdest part for me is staying in one spot because I was used to moving since I was 18. I'm 30 now, but since 18, I moved every 6 months. Like I was constantly on the go. And so since I've been here, it is just so weird sometimes it's amazing and sometimes I get really stir crazy. But I mean, it's also just my personality a little bit, but, no, I love it here and like I feel content kind of settling, in one place, but I don't know, maybe a mix of both things, I guess.
Okay. Last two questions I ask everyone that comes on the show. First one is, what is a great meal that you've had out and about in Kansas City recently?
Oh my God, that's so hard. I love food so much. Um, Probably, I would say one of my favorite places to go. Um, I didn't go there recently. I got takeout from there recently, delivered to my door, because sometimes you have to. But Blue Sushi, Sake Grill, I go there often. On Tuesdays, they have like a vegan day, so you get discounted vegan stuff, like that. It's amazing. So I always get like 6 rolls, way too many, and I'm always really full, but I just got their food and I cannot say enough good things about it. It's delicious. And if I'm not there, I love going to Blue Koi too. They have like really good vegan options and it's always really, really good.
Yeah. I just had Blue for lunch a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, never miss this. Always delicious.
It's so good. And they're like always updating their menu too. They're like adding new rolls. And I don't know, it is so good. Love it.
Okay, last question is, where can people find you? If they want to order a cake, what's the process? Where can they find you on social? All that good stuff.
My Instagram is the C Word KC. That has, some information that you could see, like, I guess, examples of cakes. As far as ordering goes, you can order through the website. So it's just the cwordcakery.com. And then there'll be, drop downs. You can pick what you want to order. I recently added, there's like cookies and pies, and it's more than just cakes. So you can get some kind of, I don't know, different stuff. But yeah, it's all through the website, and it goes to my email. It's very sophisticated and fancy, so I don't have to answer as many emails. So
streamline it, make it easier. It's a one-woman show, so I love it. Well, Sav, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and for putting your art into the world in such a fun way. Just people like you make the world colorful and beautiful. So
thank you. That is so nice. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.